This is Julie Starling, and we are here at the Southwest College of Naturopathic Medicine here in Tempe, Arizona, and we are at the Arizona Psychedelics Conference. This is a gathering of people, naturopaths, medicinal plant enthusiasts, doctors, and we are all here to discuss and share our information and inspiration of medicinal and psychedelic plants. In 2010, Arizona legalized marijuana, and now less than a decade away, we are now further pushing to explore the potential use of medicinal plants, particularly psychedelics, in health and healing practices.
People have identified with their illness, and that's who they are, and they don't know who they'd be without it, and they might actually subconsciously sabotage their ability to get better. And so for you to really move through an autoimmune condition, you have to be honest with yourself. Are you actually ready to be a healthy person? Are you ready to not have your illness be an excuse for this and that anymore? Are you ready to step up and be honest with yourself about what pain's really underneath it all, or in what ways you might be falling short in life that you haven't been able to look at? And when you take these psychedelics and you have these neuromodulatory experiences, they do affect the vagal nerve tone, and that can also dictate the environment of the gut. So the way that the nervous system is sending information to the intestines will influence what type of environment that is, which will dictate what organisms proliferate and thrive there, which means they have a lot of influence on the microbial balance and populations in your gut. And it creates this opportunity of plasticity where these deep grooves of your patterning and your habits and your beliefs get really scrambled, and you have this clean slate to just initiate new patterns and new ways of thinking and new concepts for how you're going to move through life. It's extremely transformative and catalytic for people, much in the same way that ayahuasca can be or other psychedelic experiences. And it really addresses the psychosomatic pieces of illness at the same time as addressing the physiological things.
It's been coming out of this stress research, mind-body relationship. So studying the way stress and illness are interrelated. So I was at a lab at UCSD where they do that kind of research, showing how when people are more stressed out, they get sick more often, and starting to spell out all the chemicals involved. Stress and hypertension. High blood pressure, turns out, is a very stress-related illness. Like, they verified that, proven, they've published many, many papers. You know, it's not just diet, of course, is important, all that kind of stuff. But stress it indicates possible stress problems. Depression and immune function. Why people who are more depressed have a tendency to get more ill and get sick more often. And they've studied that now. The way it affects the neurotransmitters, the way that affects the nerve system, the way that affects your immune system, and the way it functions. That's been spelled out and articulated. Emotional trauma and the stress response system. So PTSD, for example. Pro-inflammatory milieu and combat-related PTSD is independent of depression and early life stress. So it wasn't from their life, it was from the war. And they got traumatized, and they have PTSD, and now it's affecting their immune function and their inflammatory markers. And if you can heal them emotionally, then their body starts working good again.
I wrote It's a Beautiful Wound because I'd been to many conferences like the Arizona Psychedelics Conference, and I heard all sorts of experts talk about MDMA experiments and psilocybin experiments. And they always talked about, the problem and the results. But I never got a sense of what it was like to go through these experiments. And I've had my own experience going through them with an underground therapist. So I felt, this is a contribution I can make. And I wanted to reveal both the complexity of it, the challenges of it, the beauty of it, the fact that it's not this like one time and you're fine experience, but that it can be immensely healing. So that's why I wrote it.
So, Luis Eduardo Luna brought me the ayahuasca reader, and there was very little information about it, and so the ayahuasca reader really gave some kind of context, both a historical perspective, anthropological, both from the translations from the Shipibo texts as well, so it's translations from over 12 different languages in that. And then Ralph Metzner came around in the early 90s, in 2009, 2008, and with his history of work with Ram Dass and Timothy Leary at Harvard in 1962 to 1968. So there's a picture of the gentleman in 1962, and that's the gentleman in 1968. So that's that particular period of time when there was so much activity going on in cultural change, beginning of a really major cultural change. And that led to really interesting work coming in the field of psychedelics. This is on the resurgence of psychedelic medicine and for personal spiritual growth. And then this is the culmination of really what I started with Schultes in working with Dennis McKenna to bring out the most comprehensive collection of papers written on the subject of ethnopharmacology, starting with the 1967 conference that was held in San Francisco, sponsored by the Department of Mental Health, and then of course the war on drugs began 3 months later.
Heard about just entheogenics in general when Amanda started the Entheogenic Research Club here on campus, and I went to their first talk and I just saw the amazing things that this medicine can do and got really interested in it, and that's one of the reasons why I'm volunteering at this conference this weekend.
I'm really excited to be here at the first Arizona Psychedelics Conference. I think it's a great time for this to be happening, and I'm really excited to be meeting other people in the community, and also really impressed to see what kind of people the event is bringing, and yeah, I'm happy to be here.
We came all the way from Puerto Rico. We are naturopathic medicine students. We are very happy to be here. It's been amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing to be here and to share this spiritual path together in community. It's amazing. Thank you for organizing this. It's being a very healing energy path for us being here. Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to awaken in you the hunger to kindle the fire of the relationship with the earth. These plants, these medicines, these fungus, all of these different ones are wanting you to rekindle that relationship with the planet.